How's it going, Sha?
I'm fine. Stop up here in the middle of darkness, nighttime, doing this, recording this show.
My bad, Sha. My bad, Sha. I'm over here
Yeah.
trying to be professional,
Mhm.
traveling the world, doing jokes, yucks, but still got to put up these podcast yucks. So here we are.
Well, yuck.
Yo, real talk, we slacked off too. I thought about this.
Uh-huh.
Listeners, Shalewa and I, a couple things. We are recording this podcast at less than optimal or ideal time. We are recording a late night episode today because of me. I'm traveling, so because of that, our normal time slot isn't possible. And Shalewa's been more than accommodating, and we're recording it instead at this time, late at night after I already asked her to perform on a show that I'm on. So I was like, hey, like, you want to come do this show this late? Cool. And then after that, you want to do something later and record this podcast? So here we are. But the wild shit is I realized we we were booked on the same show out in Long Island. That's like the show is roughly 2.5 hours away from our home.
Right.
And we basically had two of the best episodes ever on the drive there and back.
And didn't even record them. Yep.
Yeah, like we could just set up the GoPros and just talked while we drove, and we'd be good money. So yeah, missed opportunity. That's on us, Sha.
Yeah, I guess so. But then if the camera had been on us, we would have never spoken this freely.
It's fair. It's fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are definitely those would have been Patreon exclusives. They couldn't come out in the public.
That's true. And we don't even have a Patreon yet. Wait, do we have a Patreon?
We don't.
No.
We don't. We should though, and we will soon.
Yeah, we will. That's definitely in the works.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that was on us. But I do appreciate it though. I am a little bit revved up right now. Like
yeah, well, I will say to our troops and correspondents, I did open for Gastor for his show The Sugar, which you've probably heard us mention roughly a million times. And it was real good. It's very tight. Extremely tight, almost too tight. Yeah, whoever the guy was whoever your friend was that was sitting next to us,
yeah,
he at one point, very dramatically, might I add, went to go use the restroom, and then when he came back, you wrapped it up right then. He was like, "Oh, I would have held it if I had known we were almost at the end." And I was like, I mean, I feel you, but also, why would you say that out loud to a stranger? But I get it.
Yeah, he was in a sharing space. He did a lot of that. But yeah, thank you. I feel good about where it is, and I am admittedly this is probably the happiest I've been with how it went.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean? So and mainly because like there's things that I 100% instantly was like, I should have done that better, or I should have done this different. But overall, I was happy. But what made me happy is that the things that I didn't do, I wrote. And I just like, I haven't rehearsed it enough times with the new changes that I forgot to do it. And then I had to make a decision of, do I backtrack and add that, but not flow? Or do I flow because I'm also doing a live show? So I decided to like flow, have a good show. But I knew in my head, like, oh, I'm a body this the next time because I already know the thing that's missing.
Thing that you missed. Yeah, right. No, it was great. I really liked it. I definitely, after watching it, I was like, well, I got to throw out my whole show. I don't even know. If I throw it out, I don't even know if I'm going to pick it back up. I'm just going to.
Lies, okay? Because I'm reformatting mine because of yours. So we in a circle right now, okay? So I don't know what to tell you, Sha. And you know how I know I ain't lying, Sha? I secretly recorded your show. I got the audio. Okay, I've been studying your shit. Okay, think I'm playing.
That's good. Well, that's good. You got one of the good ones, because man,
that's what we here for, baby. You know what I mean? Sword sharp as sword. Okay.
I guess so.
Gang. You know what I mean?
That's so funny that you recorded the audio. That's great.
As I get better, whenever I go to a show, if like I know it's gonna be someone dope, I just record it. You know what I mean? Like I ain't out here bootlegging people.
Right.
I ain't taking
Fire.
money from y'all. I'm doing it for studying purposes. I go
Yeah.
home, I transcribe it, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh, this is fire. Oh, this is dope. Oh, I should do. Oh, this is fire. I could learn from this. Oh, this is dope. I like how they did that shit. And it helps to, like, I don't know, make it a thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very funny though to do that. And I'm glad that I haven't walked past a barber shop and seen a DVD of my show on a towel out front
I mean,
for
times ain't
sale.
been that rough yet, Sha.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
true. That's
Yeah,
true. That
you
is
know,
those are definitely rough times if you're selling audio of a show by someone no one's ever heard of. That's a
today,
rough
yeah,
time. Yeah.
today in particular, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
that's a bit of a reach. That's how I got into cannabis. You know what I mean? Somebody
Right.
just told me he was cool, and I bought that CD. But today, that's a tough sell. Yo, listen, take
Yeah.
this USB drive. Trust me. You
Right,
know.
that's true. Like, you don't got no pictures or nothing? Nah, just trust me.
Nah, B, trust me, it's good. You're gonna get
Mhm.
some viruses, but it's gonna be worth it.
Right. Oh, boy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, actually, Gastor, we've been on tour for, like, a week together because
yeah.
we did a storytelling show a week ago.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and then there was one we missed each other, I think, where I did a show at a club on a 7 o'clock show, and I think you were on the 9:30 show. So we like just missed each other like last Wednesday or something.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and then there was Long Island, and then today. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Yep.
beautiful. Yeah, comedy's like that, yo. Like I explain it to people. Like there's so many dope comics working in New York, and there's also so many dope shows, and also there's a lot of not dope shows, but there's a lot of shows, and like, but like you could go through like a week of like, oh, I seen you every day, and then you go through like 6 months of like where you been,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they're equally busy, just in another pocket,
Right.
But
Yeah.
I will say all of the performances, while I love hanging out with you at shows. I've told you before, never change. I love your energy at shows. I mean that so sincerely. You were dope.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But the highlight of the last week of us chilling
Mhm.
was you convincing me to gamble on Latin cuisine on the very edge of Long Island.
Oh,
Uh
sure.
we were in a town with maybe 4 Spanish people, and they all worked at
All
this one
work there.
restaurant.
They all work there.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mhm.
And we couldn't tell that from outside. And I was worried, right? Because like everybody was like Shalewa was like, where can we get food? And people would be like, oh, there's a Italian place, there's a burger place, and there's a Latin place. And that's scary because there's a lot of different Spanish foods, and they're like just grouping it all together.
Right?
Uh, so I'm like, I don't know if this means that this place covers everything, or if they don't know the difference of the different types of Spanish foods.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely B. It's definitely B, which is, I mean, fine. We can't expect them to know a lot. I mean, it is Long Island, and it was like the end of the island yeah, it was so far out Long Island that
word.
all of the Long Island cities that I've heard of, we passed them on the way. Like the highway stopped. That's how far out we were. It was just like, and that was exit 1, and now you're just on a road. And
It's
I'm like,
over.
"Oh, what happened to the highway?" You're like, "Nope, you gotta slow down now. There are stores around you." And I'm like, "Okay."
That's
Um,
it.
yeah, it just we ran out of island, and then we told jokes where it stopped.
Oh yeah, we was out there, baby. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was out there. And the place, shout out to Latin Fusion.
Hell yeah.
Um, and of course, yes, you are correct if you assume that there's a Z in fusion. You're absolutely correct. Um, that said, not a bad quesadilla. I had a pretty good
Yo,
quesadilla.
straight up, yo, they came out swinging.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? I had a steak burrito with and I had a chorizo taco. Gambles,
Mhm.
with the taco, but I figured the steak would hold me down in the burrito.
Right.
both of them was hitting. And I knew like, so first what impressed me is that I realized they do both. You know, when I ordered the taco, she like leaned in. She said, "Hey, you want lettuce and tomatoes or you want a taco?" And I was like, "I want a taco." She's like, "All right." You know what I mean? Because that shit, I was like, "Oh, it changes it."
It was nice to watch.
Yeah.
It was very funny to watch. He was like, "Do you want lettuce and tomatoes or do you want onion and cilantro?"
Yeah.
And you were
hell
like,
yeah.
"Onions and cilantro." And she's like, "Got it." And I'm like, "Oh, something just happened here."
Hell yeah. and then she came out with the chips, and she like instantly slid the two like spicy like, "Yo, you one of the real ones. Here, you can handle this." You know, and admittedly I couldn't. It was that real. One of the spices was so spicy. Nah, B.
She
was not
like,
about that life.
"These two are spicy. This red one is a spicy. It's got habanero in it. That's why it has hab on it. It is spicy." And he went with that one first, and then he didn't. You wouldn't know by looking at him. He ate it. We're still talking, and then he was like, "That was entirely too spicy. I'm going back down to the green one." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Like your eyes didn't water? You didn't like flinch at all, but you were like, no, I should have listened."
Oh
like,
yeah.
I wonder what's going on in your mouth right now if that's how you're reacting.
Hey, I was just trying to think about what was sustainable. Okay. You know, one bite, sure, I can man up. But if I'm trying to eat like chips, nah, B. I couldn't handle that consistently. You know, I gotta know my limits. We still had a show to do, you know? I can't be out
That's true. We still had sweating.
You know what I mean? That's not the look.
Yeah.
My whole persona on stage is like chill and cool. Like, I can't be, yo, what's wrong with Gas? He looks tense as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Just sweating and burping. Like, no.
Going through it.
That's not good. That's not good.
But now it was beautiful. Had a great time. Shouts out to Long Island. It was good times. Probably the most fun I've had in the town where everything closes at 7:30.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
We definitely,
we were at the late night spot. I believe they closed at 9. And I was like, "Oh, that's right. It's Saturday. Come on now."
Turned up. It's a quiet town where like the poppin' show is in a place that was basically a church.
Right.
You know, they're like, yeah, now we converted it. Now it's non-for-profit. Oh, okay. Now I mean, big range is showing.
Yeah.
The club.
You gotta use every part of the buffalo when you're in these small towns.
Oh man, that was beautiful. But yeah, yo, dope time. Shalewa, when I was invited to stay, we decided to leave just because nobody there believed in locking doors, and we just don't vibe with that.
Yeah. I mean, they're very sweet, and I'm sure whoever was going to come in and rob us, they also would have been very nice.
Word up.
But I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to say no.
Because like there was a surprising amount of people that like after the show checked on us. They're like, "Yo, y'all staying, right? Y'all staying? You'll never know, okay? You'll never know where we staying, but it's not here. Can't risk it. I don't know if this is friendly or you targeted me."
I mean, we walked out while there were still people at the venue, like chit-chatting. We just grabbed our things and quietly walked across the street and just got in the car and left.
Kept it moving.
I don't know if anyone was like, "I wonder if they're going to come out and say hello." We were gone. We were absolutely gone.
Oh man, that's what New York comedy does to you. Okay, I've met my contractual obligation.
Yeah, I did what I needed to do. You've paid me. We're good. We can settle up. Let me go.
Keep it moving, baby. And I checked too. I was like, "Do you need me for something?" I offered. You know, like if you need me to take a pic, I'll take a picture. But I need to know I need to take the picture. I'm not just taking pictures.
Right.
You know, because I could be sleeping. You know.
That's true. That's true. And I'm very antisocial, so I wasn't even thinking about like, do I go out there and meet people and say hello? Also, I had said something about the men in the audience. Nothing bad. I just noted how they were completely disinterested in what I had to say. But I mean, I just pointed it out and then kept it moving. And so I'm like, they don't want to take a picture with me, and I certainly don't want to go out into a room where half of them are like, you don't like me. I mean, that's not true. I don't know them. But all I know is what I saw, which was the top of their heads because they were all looking away or looking down.
Now, to be fair to them, they also did not like me. At least I thought that initially. I feel like Shalewa cracked the code though.
Mm.
We realized that this was also taking place during the World Series.
Yes.
So to be fair to them, I do think that they were just like, hey, this is cool, but like,
yeah,
I could be watching game.
we bought these tickets before they decided who was in the World Series.
You know what I mean? I ain't mad at them, all right? So I get
Yeah.
it. They had money on the Phillies or something, and
Right.
you know,
I
Houston
mean,
won.
it was a tight game. It was a tight situation.
It happens, you know what I mean? But Shalewa and I had a great time. Shout out to
Mhm.
everybody out there. We also got to listen to my random Spotify playlist. Shalewa was surprised. I like to listen to Mystics, The Life, random deep cuts from the 90s.
Just
You know?
a lot of MC8.
Yeah. What's really crazy, it was current MC8. Like, it wasn't
Right.
even like you playing the hits. Nah, this came out in 2021. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's not even. I mean, just a lot of older stuff, a lot of boom and or bap. You know, and I mean, it was perfectly fine. It was all great. Nothing grating or jarring. Nobody saying 21 over and over, which I think is a hallmark of today's rap. No one rapping in triplets. Like, it was fine. So
I got a brand, okay? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I know what I listen to. I know what's expected. But admittedly, I just play what keeps me awake. You know?
right.
So that's kind of what happened. I was in a good place. So we
Mhm.
got the regular 90s 2000 mix.
Yep.
If I'd have been sleepy, you'd have got a lot more DMX.
Oh
You know?
boy. Well,
So
okay then.
we didn't
Yeah.
make that pivot. You know, I was good.
Right.
I didn't even need to make a coffee run. It was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it didn't take as long as we thought it would to get out there.
Hell yeah. Good vibes.
Yeah, it was all right. So this is basically what you're listening to is the end of our tour together, our mini tour.
The least promoted tour ever.
Right.
We're telling you about it after it's happened.
Yes, the accidental tour. Yeah, accidental tour.
In true Gastor and Shalewa fashion, okay?
Right. Yeah,
we are terrible at promoting.
It was so bad.
We both had shows in the festival. Neither of us plugged them last week. We even mentioned shows last week. We're like, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this. Didn't mention the shows that we're doing at all.
Nope. Like, I mean, I guess I figure you'll find me, but that's not fair. That's the problem is I'm like, everyone will find me. Why would I think that? I'm not even the only Shalewa on the internet. That's insane that I think that people are going to find me. But I think if you Google Shalewa, I will be the one that comes up first. So
I would hope
take a chance. I don't know. I mean, it's a fairly popular Nigerian name, and some people, I think there's a character on a Nigerian soap opera named Shalewa, and there's a pop song named Shalewa. But I mean, they're not, really putting up these tweets like I am. So that's going to take me to the top of the list, the Google list.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Shalewa out here dominating, okay?
Dominating all the other Shalewas. Now, see, I'm going to wake up in the morning and there are going to be 3 Shalewas at my door like, we heard you talking shit. Now I got to bare knuckle fight another Shalewa or 2.
That's a pilot I want to write with you. Let's do that.
I know another Shalewa in New York.
Word?
Yes. And she came across my name or something on Facebook, and she was like, hey, we may know some of the same people, or there's something where she was just like, I don't know, but I feel like I'm familiar with you in some way outside of just coming across you on Facebook. And then she had a birthday party, and she invited me to the birthday party, and I stopped by because I had another show or something. And so I kind of I stopped by, and we were waiting for her to show up. And I'm talking to someone who's there for her, and they're like, well, how do you know Shalewa? And I was like, or they were like, so what's your name? And I said, it's Shalewa. And they went, no, really? And I went, no, really? And they're like, well, how do you know Shalewa then? And I was like, we have the same name. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. I think we are still trying to figure out how we know each other, but we do, and the name is a big part of it. And they were like, okay. It is weird when you say it out loud. Yes.
That's kind of beautiful.
It
You know
is
what I mean?
kinda. Yeah, yeah, she's
Yeah.
a lovely woman.
Yo, shouts out to Shalewa. You know what I mean? You doing your thing out there. Raise the overall Shalewa brand, okay? Y'all are doing awesome work as a crew, okay? Rock on. Keep doing that. I need some more Gastors out there raising the whole brand awareness. Okay,
Yes,
if y'all out there, let's get together. Let's start an email list. Start letting people know about what we do as a crew.
yeah, I'm surprised there's not like a Facebook group called Gastor Almonte where it's just all the Gastor Almontes. Even if you're not related, but everybody named which I guess is who? Just you and your dad? I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole squad.
You think that's it? There might be another one.
I think there's other gas stores, but there's no other Gastor Almonte. I'd bet really hard on that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel highly
Interesting.
confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Almonte's not a rare last name.
No, but Gastor is a spelling error.
Oh, wow.
So
It
like,
is?
yeah, it's an African last name, but as a
Uh-huh.
first name is supposed to be Gaston. And they misspelled it when they named my dad, and I'm Gastor. And then when I've like searched for Gastor in general, like I found like
Mhm.
10 people randomly, and
Okay.
like none of those people are Spanish. It was just like Gastor and like Ukrainian last name or some shit. So I don't know. I can't even figure out like how they got, into the mix. But
Man, that would be one hell of a Facebook group.
I'm with it. I'm real talk. I want to do a documentary about how names start and like talk about interview all the gas stores.
Right.
Because my goal is to get famous enough to have a white person name their baby gas store. Like that's when I know like I've made it. I want a white gas store out there, and I want their origin story to be, yo, my parents love you, and they wanted to name their kid after you.
That's insane and a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be the most famous person out of my high school. That's all I'm trying to do.
That's tough for
And
me. I got Joe Torre, Vince Lombardi. Both of them went to my high school. That's like sports royalty right there. You know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also what's the guy? Not J. Cole has like a lot of friends that rap on his label. There's like a chubby dude with a fro. That's part of like J. Cole's crew. I'm blanking on his name.
Okay.
But
But
that
he
guy
Mhm.
graduated like 2 years after me.
Mhm.
So there's like a lot of like semi-famous people. So yeah, I'm
Oh,
not I'm not
wow.
winning that battle.
So far I only have to beat one person, and he's a singer-songwriter named Sean Mullins, who
Okay.
had a hit song called Lullaby. But
Ooh.
man, when Imma get him. He's like 3 years he was like 3 grades ahead of me or something like that. So our time, did overlap. And then I used to go to a pizza place that his then, at that time, girlfriend worked at. So we were circling, and I was like, once I started comedy, I was like, "I'm just trying to beat Sean Mullins is all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be the most famous person out of this high school."
Hell
And for
yeah.
all I know, there may be someone even more famous that's out there right now, but I don't think so. I think Sean Mullins right now is number 1.
Carrying the torch.
Yeah, so I'm
Shouts to
trying
Sean
to
Mullins.
I'm coming for that number 1 spot. Yeah, shout out to him.
You know what I
But
mean?
but also I'm gonna take your spot, Sean.
I'm not even the most famous comedian from prep. We got Ted Alexandro.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you ain't
So,
never yeah, they all
yo,
gonna have
I,
to
I
die
can't I
first.
can't match
Yep.
that dude.
Mm-mm.
Dude got classics out there, real talk.
Yeah, that's true.
We
That's true.
trying. This started out as a great energy feeling, but now I just feel real realistic about where I am career wise.
Well, that's good. That's all
Which
I
is
want. I just want everyone to feel realistic about where they are in life.
that's beautiful. Let's get into the news.
Yeah.
Expectations have been tempered. Let's do it. Uh Down on chips, Toyota goes back to basics with car keys. That's right. Toyota Motor Corp has discovered that even keys can be too smart for their own good. The world's top selling car maker said on Thursday it would replace one of the two electronic smart keys it delivers in Japan with a mechanical one for the time being as it races to get cars to customers in Japan. As a shortage of semiconductors continues, this is a provisional measure aimed at delivering cars to customers as quickly as possible, Toyota said in a statement. As for the second smart key, we plan to hand it over as soon as it's ready. Global chip shortage has caused a severe delay in car production and shipments, with many buyers having to wait years to get their cars delivered. Toyota has been hit particularly hard this year, with natural disasters and other disruptions adding to their troubles.
Yeah, don't give him another smart key. Let's let it all be the key.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so tired of these damn fobs. I honestly, I'll be honest with you. I've never owned a car that was made in a year that started with the number 2. So,
Okay.
I only know car keys. I don't know this fob life that y'all have unless I rent a car. But I love it. Absolutely. Let's bring down manual windows. You know what I mean? So
Hell
when the
yeah.
battery goes out, I think I just think that cars have too much computer in it.
Amen.
And so when things break, that's going to be automatically $150 just for someone to look at your computer on your car. And then to tell you what's wrong and all the other stuff is more money. And I'm like, how about back when you knew exactly where the oil went in and where it was going to come out? Like, what is all this extra stuff? Like, we had it, we got it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy you could do it, but we don't need it. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah,
little too much.
let's kick it retro style with a car key. Can we market it like that? How's that?
Ooh, retro
You
keys.
know? Yeah, retro keys. I mean, I think CDs are getting ready to come back. Cassettes have been back. Like, let's do it. Let's not have a fob.
With my current car, my key fob battery died after like 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And you know, you got to get a new key fob battery, but it died while I wasn't home.
Oh no.
So like I didn't know how to get into my car.
Right.
And I had to like YouTube my own car key fob. And it turns out I didn't know that there's a real key in my key fob. I didn't know that until 5 years of car ownership. I bought the car brand new off the lot. Nobody even mentioned it.
What do you mean?
There's
you mean
a
like
real
you push
key
a button and the key flips out,
yeah,
right?
You
didn't know it did that?
It didn't push a button though. I have to like I have to slide something out. Like there's like a kind of like taking out a battery almost. Like I didn't realize it was in there. So I've never had to hit the button before. I've never had to use the key in any way because it's a press start engine, and it only presses start if I put the battery near the start button. So I literally never had to use this key. So 5 years in, stuck somewhere hitting YouTube, and they told me, yeah, I gotta turn this knob and it opens.
So you mean there's a key that's in the fobs anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, just use the key. This is stupid.
It's
Just
crazy.
use the key. Look at how much easier that is. And then, you know, you can
stop playing games, B.
Stop playing games. Just let us use the key.
Yo, real talk shot. You know what's something I wish they did bring back?
What?
No bullshit aside. I wish all cars brought back the little purse for your change. They took it away. You remember cars used to have like a little change pocket?
You mean outside of the ashtray?
Yeah. I felt like every car had like a little area where you could put like your quarters and nickels and all of that.
What, you mean like in the middle console or just off to the side? Or
it would be on like the side, on like on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. I remember always having like
there was a little, a little drawer maybe or something like that. Yeah,
exactly.
No one uses change anymore.
Yo, I do. But now I gotta load up my cup thing with change. I gotta designate one like the quarters and another one the loose change. See, and like if we get drinks, they're uneven now. They wobble.
You know what? If I had a car that was made in the year 2000, I would know that they've taken away those things. But all the cars that I'm intimately familiar with always had some sort of weird little pocket or divot or something to put change in. But I guess that's a shame. I wonder what they put there instead. Probably
not that. There's more buttons. Straight up.
Buttons that do nothing.
It took me 25 minutes to pop the hood the other day for my mechanic. Most embarrassing shit ever.
Why? Because you couldn't.
I didn't know which thing to pull or touch. I was pulling everything over there. I didn't know what to do. I got frustrated. I ended up pulling a piece of the panel off, like looking for this button. Like, y'all know what to do, my G. And he looked at me like I'm special, came in and hit like the most, like he like pinky touched something and it opened up the hood. Like he
Oh,
like it was like
wow.
so simple. But yeah, too many buttons in the way, man. Too much, man.
That's so funny.
Permacrisis declared Collins Dictionary Word of the Year, Sha. That's right. Permacrisis, a word describing the feeling of living through a period of war, inflation, and political instability, has been chosen as Collins Dictionary Word of the Year. It sums up just how truly awful 2022 has been for so many people, said Alex Beecroft, head of Collins Learning. It led Collins' annual compilation of 10 words or phrases which reflect our ever-evolving language and preoccupations of those who use it. Quiet quitting also made the list. This phrase is the act of doing one's basic duties at work and no more, either by way of protest or to improve work-life balance. Mr. Beecroft added, language can be a mirror to what is going on in society and the wider world, and this year has thrown up challenge after challenge. He said it was understandable that people may feel we are in an ongoing state of uncertainty and worry after living through upheaval caused by Brexit, the pandemic, severe weather, and the war in the Ukraine, political instability, and the energy squeeze and the cost of living crisis. Jesus, this is an optimistic view on the world. My man.
Yeah, because this is British. That's why. Because here's the thing. I'm like, I've never heard anyone say permacrisis.
You know?
I'm on Twitter 26 hours a day, and I've never seen the word permacrisis in any of the tweets I'm looking at. So I don't know what they're talking about. And now I'm like, oh, well, all right. So Collins also as a dictionary, I was like, that's not my dictionary. And I'm like, okay, so this is like a British thing. And I realized that we're reading a BBC article.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm looking at the other words that were the top phrases and words of the year, I guess. So there's of course permacrisis, there's quiet quitting, there's partygate, which is a political scandal over social gatherings held in British government. Yeah, okay, so that ain't us. I don't care about your little partygate. Let's see. A warm bank, a heated building where people who cannot afford to heat their homes may go. What?
Yo, these are sad words, my G. What is happening?
What's happening? I know.
Yo,
what's really good?
Yo, how's warm bank not number one?
Yeah, I mean, but I do know that they are having problems with like energy and like gas and like being able to pay for it and all of that kind of stuff. So there are a lot of people in housing where they can't afford their heat. So I know that this is a big issue right now. There, not here. No, I mean, we just had 70-degree weather in early November. So this isn't our issue. We have an issue, but it's not this part.
Now they do have some fun words though. They got splooting.
I was just about to say splooting.
Hell yeah.
The act of lying flat on the stomach with the legs stretched out.
That's not bad. It seems like a good time.
I mean, there's definitely going to be some pudding.
I wouldn't have guessed that that's what vibe shift means.
What did they say?
They said
yeah.
A shift and change in a prevailing cultural atmosphere or trend. I don't know. I guess that's accurate. I only associate that with like, I don't know, like music. Like this sounded very political.
Oh, well, I mean, it is used in any time that there's something changing.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, I guess over the past year and a half, I've seen that being used in all kinds of circles.
Oh.
So that doesn't surprise me that it's on there. That's one of the ones where I'm like, well, yeah, that one's kind of universal. Splooting, we don't know about that here in America, but I bet if we knew, we'd use it. We'd use the word for sure. But the rest of it just feels real Britney.
Yeah, this is the same my energy.
Kiev is one, the capital of Ukraine, is a word of the year. Like, what are we talking about? That's just a city.
Y'all living different over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
time I see Vibe, I assume to see like Keenan. So like this ain't my vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nope. This is I guess a different vibe. It's a
This is-
vibe shift. I don't know. I like it. Um, from TMZ, the story is TSA finds gun stuffed in raw chicken at Florida airport.
Okay.
Uh, the headline is Florida airport bust gun stuffed in raw chicken exclamation point exclamation point exclamation point. TSA stops foul play.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, is it nice? I don't know. Now I'm regretting my decision. TSA agents in South Florida aren't pulling anyone's wing after confiscating a raw chicken, one that turned out to be fully loaded.
Oh my
The
god.
Transportation Security Administration, oh, that's what that stands for, posted the raw crime Monday, showing the offending bird stuffed with a handgun after it was seized by Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. The bird seemed to be completely packaged with the firearm wrapped up tight in plastic and then jammed into the bird. A pretty dangerous spin on the whole turducken craze. Look, TMZ, I need y'all to just take it down a notch. Chickens, raw or cooked, are okay to travel with passengers according to TSA guidelines, but
Really?
obviously, firearms inside said chicken ain't gonna fly. I can't with them. Every sentence ends with like vaudeville. Okay. FYI, the airports in Florida have seen a major spike in illegal guns at security checkpoints, with 700 total found across the state so far this year. But we're guessing nothing like this. Yeah, I mean, that's a safe bet.
how you you know this problem is serious when people was like, "Yeah, I don't trust that bird." You know what I mean? Like, how many
Yeah.
goods have to get snuck through an airport when like somebody sees a raw chicken and is like, "Nah, B, open that." You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't. I'm trying to think how you get to chicken. Like, because I feel like what that means is you've tried it before and it didn't work. Not a chicken, but just getting your gun through like security. And
Right.
you're like, now what's a thing that I know nobody will touch?
They don't question
Probably
chickens.
a raw chicken. Let's see what happens. And I'm like, the TSA has gloves.
Yo.
They've had gloves this whole time. They're always wearing gloves. All they got to do is touch your weird little raw chicken and get your gun out and then throw those gloves away, wash their hands, put on a new pair of gloves. It's possible.
But you
Like,
know, like there's people
you're
that
not
like
untouchable with a chicken.
nobody would think of this.
Right.
There are people though that like you know, they struggle with like textures, you know, like they can't touch
Yes.
Jello and you know
Right.
they gotta play with Play-Doh. So maybe that was the idea. Like they're gonna see the chicken raw and like freak out and
I
not
mean,
be able to
it's not going to be my first thing of what I want to touch um with a gun in it, but I mean if the x-ray machine is like, "Hey, there's a gun in here."
double check that chicken. That's not the
Yeah,
bone?
maybe you know, if they've gone through everything and they're like, "I mean, is it in the chicken?" Then you kind of have to like, I mean, I know we're having a chicken shortage because of bird flu right now. Avian flu is so that's why everybody's eggs cost $8 a dozen. It's
Really?
because yeah, that's why eggs are so expensive because so many chickens have died from the avian flu that we don't have as many eggs as we normally would.
Yo. Huh.
Yeah, so that's a fun fact in case you're wondering why you're not eating eggs anymore. Because $8 a dozen is a lot.
Yeah, that's diesel.
Yeah. But like, I'm still gonna fuck up your chicken if there's a gun in it, and my job is to get rid of the gun. Also, how are you gonna use that gun again? I don't. It's got salmonella. Like it's deadly in many ways now. There's salmonella and the bullets. Like it's not a good look.
Yo, shots to deep fried guns. You know what I mean?
And do you eat the chicken?
I would hope so. Why
No,
not? Why be wasteful? Use
you
the
gonna
whole
eat
bull.
you're gonna eat a chicken that has had a gun in it and TSA's hands? I mean, I know they were gloved, but
I mean, I figured I've been eating chicken
you know
wings
what?
from the
You
Chinese
right.
takeout spot for years, and they always got
You
that weird
so right.
ligament. You know,
Yes.
like you notice how like the Chinese takeout chicken wings always got that one ligament in the chicken leg, and none of the other ones do. So I don't ask
Yeah.
questions about that. You know, I just like, it's cartilage, and I keep it moving.
You're right. I eat those McDonald's gray burgers all the time. That's what
Straight
I
up.
call their hamburgers, gray burgers. And so, who am I to? Who knows what kind of firearm or was in that cow? You know. So hell.
I don't ask questions. It tastes good. Word, cool. That's how they make McRibs. You know what I mean?
Anyway, I just wanted to make sure I brought that to your attention that and they putting guns and chickens now down in Florida.
Yeah, shouts to Florida, man. Y'all be changing the game out there,
I
man.
mean, you really do find many different ways to innovate every day.
Respect, B.
It's something with you every day.
Yo, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, man. They believe that out there. Like, word.
Yeah, they're going into the chicken.
That's it.
Where the shots are going.
Yo, because like you gotta respect the drug dealers down there. They're like, yo, listen, has somebody tried the chicken before? I mean, is it a bad idea? Nah, man. There's no bad ideas. Okay, try that shit. All right, let me know. Like that somewhere out there, there's like a real like progressive gangster that's like read some management books, and he's like, listen, man, I don't think it's gonna work, but I appreciate that you're trying to think about new and exciting ways to be progressively violent.
Outside of the box, absolutely.
You know,
like,
keep
okay,
doing
so
it.
we know not chicken, but let's see what else we can do. Let's see what else we can do.
It's a new direction, keep pivoting.
Mm-hmm. Keep pivoting.
In other news, cloned cannabis cells with 12 times more potency are grown in Israel bioreactor. A company behind the tech says each gram of its product will stretch much further in treating patients than a gram from a cannabis plant and needs far less water and other resources. Israeli company has cloned the hemp cells and used a bioreactor to grow them into a substance with all the active compounds of cannabis and 12 times its potency level. BioHarvest Science says the breakthrough could make the medical benefits of cannabis available in cheaper, cleaner, and greener form. It has started applying for the necessary licenses to manufacture and sell its medical products for medical use in Israel and the U.S. We don't grow the plant at all, said BioHarvest CEO Ian Sobel. Instead, the process involves replicating cells taken from our hemp plant in big tanks called bioreactors to produce huge numbers of identical cells. We grow them in huge bioreactors in just 3 weeks, while regular cannabis takes 14 to 23 weeks.
No, stop. This is a horror movie. You've already said prime horror movie words. You've said bio whatever. That already, that's like, nope, that's no good, because that means it's going to be weird and fake.
Right.
It's clone. It's a clone of something, and it's 12 times stronger. And replicate. Replicating. No. Those are literally, that's a recipe for horror movie disaster.
Hey, I love
You're going to end up with one huge seed stomping through a city. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like what happened to it being from the earth, man.
Hey, listen.
What happened to that? What happened to that? That was the whole selling point. That was your main selling point on getting folks to be okay with it. It's from the earth. That ain't the earth. That's a fucking test tube.
Come on, weed. Okay? You turning your back on your roots, literally, okay?
Yeah, there are no roots.
There's no roots, okay? That's not what we expect from you. Stick to the brand, okay?
You big tanks in a bioreactor? Get the fuck out of here. I don't even want to drive by wherever you're doing this.
I can't wait to hear these rap songs, man.
Oh,
Oh, my sticky
no.
icky from the bio, B. Know what I mean?
No, it's not even gonna be like, they're
Bio
gonna
blunts,
take out
bio
all of
blunts.
yeah,
Or them
BioBlunts
bio
is
blunt.
you definitely need to go somewhere and, like, get that name, register that name immediately. BioBlunts? I can't believe I'm not even gonna say it again because it's your property. You need to get that shit registered immediately.
Oh, man. That shit gonna be hitting these streets heavy, B. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I feel for anyone using it, and it's gonna be 12 times stronger.
Know what I mean?
Oh my god, no one needs it like that right now. If you need your weed to be 12 times stronger, you need something stronger than weed. Do you know? Like,
I
it's not just the
appreciated that,
weed.
like, the CEO kept trying to emphasize that. He's like, for medical use, medicine, only medicine, okay?
But if that is the case, then there's not even medicine that's that strong. Like, just lie down with a morphine drip if that's what you need is weed that's 12 times stronger, made in a bioreactor that's replicate cells of another all of that. No. I've seen how this ends, and John Carpenter has something to do with it. I'm not.
Let's do this,
That's
baby. In other news, Missouri Snake Show Venom Fest shut down after a cobra disappeared shot. That's right. It was a 2-day event over the weekend in Moscow Mills, Missouri, called the Venom Fest. Saturday went off without a hitch, but on Sunday, the show was canceled after a deadly Egyptian cobra went missing. The event organizers say strict safety precautions were in effect for the 200 to 300 snakes at the Midwest Venom Show. Snakes were not allowed out of their sealed containers for any reason. He says before the doors opened for day 2, a vendor found one of his containers had been moved and was empty but still sealed. Okay, they're all in sealed containers. That's what's making it very difficult to believe that this was a mistake. The snake didn't put the lid back on, and the snake didn't move its container 2 feet.
we don't know that. We don't know that. How well you know your
You
snakes?
know what I mean? This is first
We
time
don't
out of
know.
town, B. Maybe your
Yeah, we
snake
don't
got a
know.
side piece in Missouri, okay?
We don't know anything about these snakes.
You know what I mean? Snakes be sliding in DMs, okay? You know what
Hey,
they up to.
also, sometimes what if the snake had the strength of like a woman lifting a car off of her baby? You know
Word.
what I mean? We don't know what's going on with these snakes. We don't know.
Yeah. It was an emergency. It was like, yo, I need to get up out of here. Snakes could choke
Exactly.
people out. They could definitely pop a lid.
Oh my
You know what I
gosh.
mean?
So wait, this is someone or I'm looking ahead and there's a quote here that's just so funny that I think is by one of the who was the guy that was it the guy? Yeah, the guy whose snake was stolen
Yeah.
or something. Mickey Meyer with Show Me Reptiles, which already is a quite questionable. Um, he said, let's see, both Meyer and the police believe the cobra snake is more likely stolen than escaped. He says a team of experienced keepers conducted a 6 to 7 hour search and plan another complete sweep out of an abundance of caution. And then he says, there's no dust trails. There's really no evidence of a snake being loose in there because a lot of times when they get loose, they poop too. We haven't seen any evidence of a loose snake. I just don't think we're going to be doing any more of these venomous shows anymore. A word? You think you're done? Is this the last one? Maybe no more?
Yo, Mikey, real talk, this wasn't up to you, okay? It was over already.
Yeah.
It was shut down before this interview. Once this happened, it was done. You wasn't in on those talks.
Yeah, I don't think you can make that call. I think that call has been made for you.
When the venomous snake goes missing, cities shut shit down, okay? That's how permits go away, okay? It got nothing to do with your like guilty conscience.
Yeah, no, that's just how that goes.
He's like, I
That's
feel like
so
we should
funny.
change this. Nah,
I
B, it's
just
been
don't think
changed.
we're gonna be doing any more. Well, okay, if you think it's best. If you think it's best for you to
You know,
stop doing this.
I feel like you've given it thought, so I'm gonna trust your read on this, okay?
Oh my God. Why would you do a snake show and call it Venom Fest? You idiot.
Oh man, it's for educational purposes. Huh?
I mean, just say that you have snakes and reptiles and all. You know what I mean? Mix it up like exotic pets or whatever you want to call it. But it was literally called the Midwest Venom Fest. Get out of here.
Oh man, I would build a mock plane and then do the whole event in front of it, be like snakes off the plane. You know what I mean?
No, no, I would forbid you to do that. I would never allow it. Never. You're better than that. You're better than that, Gastor. I want you to aim higher.
Listen, I already came up with bio blunts. There's only so much creative energy I
Yeah,
got.
that's true. That's true. So you should rest. Rest on those laurels. Don't feel like you need to come up with anything else. You got it.
Finally, Twitter asked some laid off workers to come back.
Look, let me tell you something. As somebody who spends 37 hours a day on Twitter, I got to tell you, they've been really going through it. It's been a mess.
Yo.
Like all the stuff that old dude is doing. It's really, here's what I told my roommate earlier. When I was a kid, when I was like a toddler, and I used to like entertain the family. You know how when you're like 3 or 4 and you're just like dancing around and singing and the family's just clapping along and like, yeah, look at her go or whatever, and you're just like, look at me, I'm putting on the performance of a lifetime, but you're like 3 or 4.
Okay.
And you know how it's cute to see little kids do that. And so when you see a little kid being cute, you laugh.
Okay.
So I would do that for extended family, cousins laying around my apartment, whatever, parents, aunts, uncles, whatever. And I would be dancing and singing probably Philadelphia Freedom because apparently I really love that song.
Okay.
And they would laugh because it's funny to see this little girl do that. And I would stop and I would stamp my foot and I would say, "Don't funny that." And then I would run out of the room, very upset.
Okay.
This is what I'm seeing when I'm seeing old dude dealing with Twitter.
He's trying his best,
Also, the irony is not lost on me that I then went on to do comedy after yelling, "Don't funny that," to my relatives. It's not lost on me. But anywho, I digress. Yes, he basically just the whole coming on and saying like comedy is back, right? I can bring a free speech. I'm bringing back comedy. You don't have to worry about what you say. And then the first things that he fucking takes down is anyone who's doing a parody of him. If you do a parody of anyone and you don't say it's a parody, then you might be suspended. And then there are people who are saying it's a parody, but it's still a parody of him. And he's just like, shut him down. What is this guy? Okay, get out of here. This idiot. He's too thin skinned. So, yeah, like what was it? They fired a bunch of people and then there's stuff that they need to get done. And so now they're like trying to reach out to him again, like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
He's trying, man. Like I feel like I don't I isn't that like a rule when you become like a new manager in a place? Like, hey, just don't do nothing for 90 days. Like I thought that was like a thing. Like, hey, just watch how things are running
and figure out, yeah, like see how it goes and who does what. And like he gave the managers there a week to give them a list of who in their departments weren't like working so that he could fire them, which is to me wild, but I think other companies do that. But that still is wild to me. Just like tell me who sucks. Because I'm like, how do I know you're not gonna say, you know what, you suck too. You got a lot of people on your list. You suck, all of you out of here.
This
Like,
is your
that's
list. This is your team. You got to go too. You know what I mean? It makes sense.
right. But then he also, it would have been helpful to just kind of see how the place worked so
Yeah.
that you could see what's necessary and who does what. So that you're not just coming through and going, I don't need this at all. Just all of you go. And it's like, no, actually, you do need
Yeah.
to have that done. And it's like, well, can't I get no? Oh, there are people who know how to do this. All the people I just fired? Huh. Well, I guess try to call them. Like,
I mean,
that's
why didn't you tell me that on the list?
right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Oh, that's why they weren't working, because I wasn't asking them to do that thing yet. They were waiting for me to tell them what to do. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, this thing says some of those who are being asked to return were laid off by mistake. Mistake. Oopsie. That's weird. Others were let go before management realized that their work and experience may be necessary to build the new features must give it. How are you planning to build a bunch of shit and then you fire the people that you know how to build shit? How did you think that was going to work? I don't even know what to say.
Real talk,
Idiots.
man. It,
This
if you would like
uh-oh.
to give Shalewa and I $44 billion so we can make better decisions at literally anything, I promise you. I'm not saying we'll be great. I'm just saying we can't make these many mistakes. Okay?
Yeah.
Just by default, we'll do better. We will fail
Yes.
upwards like he has.
Yeah. That's wild. That's wild.
All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you are Apple, Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You think we can't get a spaceship into space? Sure. But guess what? Neither can he. You know what I mean?
That's true. He hadn't been yet.
He hasn't been there yet, baby. Okay. And guess what? He got a $200 billion head start on us. Still ain't happened. Okay. 5 stars. Shalewa and I already working on it. You believe in the vision. We gonna make it happen. And it's gonna be a scrap, a bootstrap version of it. Okay. We're gonna get there. Paper airplane style.
Yikes. Yeah. Bring your own helmet and oxygen.
Straight up.
We'll get you there.
Unlikely, sure, but so is his. That's the point, okay? We will give you an accurate assessment of how realistic it is every step of the way. We won't fire anybody pre-decision.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. You guys can keep your jobs.
That's it. You know what I mean? Already doing better than this this shitty company.
I keep thinking he bought it for $44 million, and it's $44 billion, isn't it?
$44 billion.
I didn't even. That hurts my head even more.
That shit is crazy.
Oh my God. That's not even real. Well, it's time for me to say it's not real money. And now we know the show. Now we can end the show. Money isn't real. Now we can end the show.
None of it's real. If you have articles you want us to cover, send us the theoretical articles. We're always open to breaking reality and reading them with y'all here. Shouts to Aaron Anderson, Black Girl, Green World, and Iron Fist Mom for sharing dope articles. Always appreciate y'all, even if they continue to highlight the fact that we don't have this fake money. It's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be into it, because they don't bother me no more, okay? I don't need it. It doesn't exist. If I want it, it'll come to me, because this dude is throwing away $44 billion, okay? I'm into it. Why not? I am future social media tycoon Gastor Almonte with future electronic vehicle tycoon Shalewa Sharpe.
Bring back the keys. That's me. That's what I'm running on. Bring back the keys.
Shalewa's analog electronic vehicles. Pardon me.
Yes. Yes.
All her cars start by pulling them backwards first, and they go forward. New technology. They're gonna be fire.
There's just a hole in the floorboard. You know what to do.
This has been a retro episode of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.